Um, I don't want to forget the recording button. So, hello, I'm the OG Heather Brooks. I was just talking to the other Heather Brooks here at EXP, and she and I, and it's fascinating because we have the same name. And just to give you a little background on kind of where I am, if you guys don't know, and who I am, I was one of the co-founders here at EXP Seniors Network about 7 years ago. We are the largest real estate network solely focusing on the 55 demographics. I've spent my entire career, I've been in real estate almost 30 plus years, but solely in the older demographics. I don't know any different. I was all about like, let me help you modify or I'm going to help you move. So that's where I came from. I love education. My background was teaching. So, and I bring education. And all of a sudden, Heather Brooks, how long have you been here?
Let me take my hair down so I don't look like. So I joined EXP February 1 of last year, and I've
Okay.
been in real estate for 21 years. And I know you serve the Florida market,
I know I serve California,
California.
however, not real estate bound. I love teaching. It's my
Okay.
favorite, it's my jam. I love it. So that's where I am. I'm a referral person and downline. I don't like it. That's just me. I'm so happy teaching and it's so much fun for me. So I was joking with Heather Brooks originally because I said, I've been getting emails for you. I gotta you on the side. So I'm very excited to see you here. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
joining us. Tina Sharp, Ellen, everybody, please welcome. Hello. I'm so glad you guys are all joining us. I really am. How many here, just drop it in the comment section really fast. How many of you guys are actually serving this demographics? And if you aren't serving this demographics, what do you know about it? Just out of curiosity. Oh, God. Oh, yes. Just drop it in the chat box so everybody can kind of see. Because it's important to understand where we are all at. And the reason why I say that is Newsweek this morning at like 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time did a huge article and I put it in our group. I do a lot of great little stuff in our group. And basically what it says is sellers and buyers are over 60. Majority of sellers and buyers are over 60. So Heather Brooks, I do, but it's the most frustrating segment to me. I got Heather Brooks. Wait, I've got it. So I'm going to show you guys a really great thing. No, but want to. I have a client that is retired senior. I love it. Thank you, Tina, for popping in and talking about it. Guys, don't be afraid. I'd love to see your faces so I know I'm not alone. All right, we're going to start in on this 40 years of stuff, and then you're like Tina Sharp, one overwhelmed realtor. And where do you go? What do you do? And how do you do it? Right? I mean, I guess that's like the biggest question that most of us have. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You don't need to be everyone. You don't. You just need to become the one person that everybody likes, knows, and trusts when it comes time to make really hard decisions. That's all you need to be. That's where your connections are going to beat perfection or whatever else it is every single time, whether it's the next person, the other realtor. The reason why I say that is because when you're in this type of like mind frame, it's emotional. And that's the hard part because none of us really know what's to come. So as we go through this, I'm going to kind of go through it like a storytelling thing because that's the only way I know how to like teach it to you guys for you guys to understand it. But I'm going to give you all the cheat sheets. I mean, that's plain and simple. So let's start. Here we go. I'm going to start sharing. And the very first thing, I'm just going to kind of dive right into basically kind of where we're going to go, what we're going to do, and how we're going to do it. I everything you see here. I'm going to start, I will drop it down in the comments, so you guys will have it. Please don't worry. Tomorrow, when I drop the recording, it will have in the comment section all of downloads that you need, okay? So the very first thing you really got to start with is guiding a move, because nobody wants to move. That's number one, right? Like, let's start off there. Think of it like a sandwich, okay? That journey began with them moving into the home, think of the bread, okay? They're your client. They're the client that moved into the home to create the family. Now the family's gone, they have grandchildren or getting sick, whatever it is. There's so many caveats to it. Doesn't matter. Point is that they are your client. Okay. Now there's two ways to this as being your client. There's the client who actually can make decisions for themselves. Then your second client would be either the child or a trust attorney, probate attorney, whatever it is that's overseeing and helping making decisions. So those are the two when we're dealing with the sale of a home. Okay. So it is not just our job to just sell the home. And that's where most real estate agents lose out on, because there's so much more beyond the sale of the house. There's your sphere of influence. There's the next state of where they're going to live, like what's beyond that. So if you saw what I had posted about, I think it was whatever it was, one of the news outlets this morning talked about the 2025 sales and buyers reports of most of it being over 60. Clearly, people are moving and they're buying, whether it's multi-generational, which I could tell you there is a significant amount of it, or it's in other various forms. But the point is, you got to know what to do with people. You got to know where to go. I'm going to teach you that. That's what we're going to do here. So one of the first things that I've always talked about, if you watch any recording, you got to be the person that people like, know, and trust. You'll lose out every time if you aren't the person that people like, know, and trust. And what I mean by that is people have to know who you are. Okay. That's liking you, but they have to build trust by the people you surround yourself with, calling your sphere of influence. That's what I think of it as. But let's go one step further. Let's take that sphere of influence and professional networks that you're dealing with, because we're all networking people. We all love to schmooze and hang out with people. But let's take it one step further and bring it to our clients who need the help. Now, I can tell you that a majority of clients are not going to want to move. They want to age in place. When I started this conversation, there's a lot of you that came in late, but when I started the conversation, I told you, I called it modify or move. I'm going to have to modify your home because I know you want to stay there. But if I can't, let's help you move, right? I will do anything as a real estate agent just to help you be comfortable and help your family, whatever it is, because those are the bonds that I enjoy. That's just me. These are things that people like, know, and trust. Now let's talk about visibility, because those real estate agents, we are the grand marketing people. We are master marketing people when it comes to this. It's huge. It's a huge component, but guess what? Nobody wants sales tactics. Nobody wants to hear the word real estate agent. Nobody wants to hear fluff. People want education, right? They want consistency. They want education from people. That's a huge thing. I'm letting more people in, by the way. Sorry. I'm cheers. If you don't understand, it is 7 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time. This is a tipple to my mother-in-law. So as we get into it, tipple time, and cheers if you drink coffee, tea, whatever it is. Thank you for showing up at 7 p.m. We are going to get down into this. I entered a few more people, but basically here's our menu. Okay, think of it as a sandwich. Okay, it doesn't start with the move. It starts with guiding them before a move starts, right? If you educate people and you help people before they need to move, they already like you. They already know you and they're going to trust you because the moment something happens, they're going to come to you. I say this because stats don't lie. Statistics don't lie. What I mean by that are twofold, okay? And cheers to this statistics because this is the devil for homeowners. Homeowners don't know this devil exists, but as a real estate agent, you're going to know this devil exists, okay? So trust me when I tell you this is the golden nugget, okay? Cheers to national statistics, not mine, national, okay? National statistics tell us one of two things. Number one, our nation's housing units, they're aging just like we are. Okay, that's a given. But the second thing is, less than 5% of their nation's housing units can actually accommodate somebody with a mobility issue. So if somebody's using a walker or a wheelchair, you're going to need to do a modification. That's where my modify came in. I'm going to help you modify the house because here's what I'm going to tell you. I know that I'm going to help you move because you're not going to be able to stay there because that's what statistics are going to tell me. But it's not just the statistics of a fall. I mean, of our nation's housing units and what it looks like. Drive around your neighborhood. We need three things as a certified aging specialist. That's what I am. We look at three things. The first thing is a step-free entry in and out of the house. Doesn't mean it has to be the front door. But think about taking a wheelchair or a walker or emergency services and getting in and out of a house real fast without steps. Okay? No steps, zero, none. Okay, the second thing we look at is a full bathroom and a bedroom on the first floor. Who has a full bathroom on the first floor? Drop it in the comments section. And who has zero stairs going in and out of the house in one of the entries of your home? Let me know. I mean, think about that. But the third thing is grab bars, and a step-free entry shower. So you could just roll right into a shower and you could be able to, bathe yourself. Your activities of daily living are all within that. So remember that those two statistics, that's the devil to our homeowners. We are their saviors. We are their saviors with our sphere of influence. That's what makes us the person that they like, know, and trust. But we're also the people that love education and love marketing, right? Okay, here we go. Ready? We're going to get right into it. Remember, I am going to drop all this in. Think of this as now a sandwich. Our sandwich is the homeowner. The homeowner is your bread. Okay, you've got all these layers inside. There are so many facets to a move when you're talking about guiding. You're talking about emotions. You're talking about what's motivating them. You're talking about obstacles. You're talking about the family. That's a lot of stuff. But I'm going to show you how to get rid of all that stuff and noise so you can just know how to serve them a platter on a silver platter, the sandwich that you're going to make them. Okay. When you work with the older adults, everybody all of us, I don't know about you, but I want to work with somebody that comes recommended, that everybody knows in my neighborhood, that everybody likes, that everybody trusts. That's me. I also know that if I'm working with my sphere of influence. Those are the people that I like, know, and trust. And by the way, it's not just one person because one personality doesn't work for all. It's got to work for several. Okay. So you got to have two or three people in your sphere. And I'm going to give you your sphere in a few seconds. Okay. Just follow along. Okay. Your sphere is going to be your condiments for the sandwich. The actual meat of that sandwich is the house. all the chaos that's in that house. How are you going to help them through it? Is it the kids making the decision? Is it you're having to help them, offload everything that's in the house? What is your job? That's the meat of the sandwich. And then once you figure out the meat, you're going to like serve it to them on a silver tray. And you are going to constantly put that as visibility. You're just going to put it out there in a way that's not sales ridden. You're going to do it from the heart, like you're serving it up from the heart. All right, here we go. That's one. All right, here's what we're going to talk about. When you're talking about guiding, whether it's a senior or the child, and you're talking about guiding them through a move, okay? The way you're going to get to this move is they're going to see you've already helped them through things. You already know all the things that they've gotten before they have to move. Remember, I told you, modify or move. You are going to help them up to that process all the way, modifying whatever it is. Oh, you need OTs, you need PTs, home health care. That's my jam. I've got all the people for it. Here's a reason why I'm telling you that sphere of influence is going to bring money. And I'll tell you how later. Okay. So, but think about this. Okay. When you walk into a home, I want you to flip the narrative on this. I want you to say to them, okay, what's working for you here? The reason why I say that is because that's why they want to stay there. That's the emotional attachment. That's all the stuff that's working. But if there's stuff that's not working for them, oh, they'll make sure to tell you. That's the first thing they're going to tell you. But here's the best part is, I just told you the 3 things that we looked for in the aging industry that would help somebody stay there. So if you're looking at a client who may already be in a walker or a wheelchair, or who may already have cognitive issues, dexterity issues, whatever it is, you already know how to address that. That is not their problem. Their problem is, why are they attached to the house? How can you help them? How can you help them stay there if that's what they want? But if they can't, let's do something different, right? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know where this red thing came up, but great. So anyways, you got to think of it. Every experience that's going to happen. Now, I have no idea who's doing this. I'm not sure what's happening. Or why it's right. Chandra, I'm not sure, but it says that Chandra's writing on here. I don't know, but anyways, so basically what happens is you've got to tailor their experience. What is it that they're going to need? You already see what's not working. Got it. That's not working? Fine, no problem. Let's get to the next step. Personalize it. Let's take that sphere of influence. Let's help them, whatever it is. Do they want to stay there? Do they want to move? Make your people their peeps. When I told you guys from at the beginning, about you don't need to be everyone. You just need to become that person that they like, know, and trust when they need to make those hard decisions. Your connections are going to be the perfection of your of the sandwich. That's your secret sauce to the whole thing. So if you are bringing in those trusted resources, not only is this homeowner going to talk about all the resources that you have and all the people that you know, but on top of that, all of that sphere of influence is going to use all of the people and all of the knowledge and people that you know onto that. So it all works together. It all does. And we're going to go through it. So that's the meat. Okay. Remember the meat of it. We already know our clients. That's the sandwich. That's the bread. But this is the meat. What are they going through? Let's look at their emotions. When I tell you to address them, don't do it face on. Walk in and say, oh, what's working for you? They're going to tell you what's not. and then and say, yeah, I know. An aging specialist I work for, they went through that. You can keep bringing stories. That's what they want. They want you to resonate with them. But tailoring their experience to all the knowledge that you have, that's the best part. Whether it's the next place that they need to go, assisted living community, 55 community, active community, memory care. How about the fact that when you are on, I don't care, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, your Google business page, when you have reviews talking about how you had resources or how you helped them and you weren't salesy and that you did everything that they wanted, how amazing is that? Right? But your sphere of influence, that's going to be hardcore because they're the ones who are going to end up referring you the clients. So I had a call from somebody that just joined DXP Seniors Network today, a real estate agent, and he said, I'm so frustrated, I don't know. And I think somebody else in the chat box said the same thing. And you know what I said? It's your approach. It is all in your approach. How are you approaching it? How are you serving it? Are you serving it with a sales tactic as your call to action? Zero. You're going to get nothing out of it. I wouldn't even want to hire you because either I want to stay in my house or I want to find somewhere else to go, and you haven't given me that. You're just telling me how to sell my house. So let's go one step further. Right? Got you guys. So here we go. Let's go one step further. Okay. When you're, again, I'm going to hit it home. When you are working with those families, you're building trust. You're not just building trust with them and their parents, but in your community too. But what happens is algorithms, comments, all of that stuff starts triggering other things when you start doing social media. Doesn't matter what it is, it will trigger that person seeing it, either sharing it or knowing some type of education or whatever it is, no matter what, bringing it home and building that trust in your community. It could be about marketing or not necessarily marketing, but highlighting when you go out in your community, dinner specials that are happening for people that are over 65 or what, I mean, there's so many things that you could do. I have lists and we'll go over that after just kind of briefly. But when you're building trust and you're building like social media and everything, it's not about a call to action selling. It's about a call to action of people knowing who you are and you have the resources. So what resources are you highlighting? What's the call to action of the resource you're highlighting? Doesn't have to sell yourself. It's like, oh, they have all those senior specials on their website or their newsletter. I'm going to sign up for the newsletter so I get senior resources. These little things, freebies to us. I don't have to do anything for it. The best part is everybody wants it. Nobody knows where to look for it. But real estate agents, freaking masters at this. We know what's going on in our community. It was no different than 40 years ago or 50 years ago when we bought the houses, but we bought it with the real estate agent who knew everybody who our kids needed. Flip a script, do it the different way. Okay. Listen for the signals. Again, when I told you walk in, don't walk in selling the house. Walk in listening. Walk in thinking about, I already know what's not working for them. Let's see what they love about it. Let's see what where it's pulling at their heart, because that's what we all want at the end of the day. We want to make our own decisions. We want to make them in a way that we feel that we are in control of it. That's a big issue because you get family fighting. Now, I'll do a whole nother series on that one. But the point is that all the dynamics are something you're going to have to figure out how to deal with. It's very easy. It's not hard. However, you just have to figure out, you got to know the players of the game and you got to know how to put it together. a sandwich, right? Who's the meat? Who's the spoiled meat? Who's the really the beef of your sandwich that really is going to be that person? And when I say that, is it, you got to look, is it the power of attorney, the person who's making the decision? Because that better be, because that's the person that's going to sign the paperwork. All right. So anyway, so listen for certain signals. If somebody's got cognitive issues, I would collaborate with children and say, hey, your mom called me in. I know you don't know me. I'm a real, I'm an aging specialist out of Los Angeles, and she wants me to sell her house, but she seems a little off or something. Do you mind? Like, let's talk about it. Don't be afraid. Look at who's on the house. And if it is the kids or if it is something, just saying, and if you know the family, don't be afraid to reach out. I don't mean to overstep your boundaries. If you have no idea who they are, don't do that. But I'm just saying is don't feel bad. Again, that's where that collaborate with the decision makers. Know who that is. Know who the person is that you're talking to. So your networking and spirit. And by the way, this is a very small glimpse. The reason why I say this is because I'm going to give you guys big pieces in a moment. These are just glimpses of what I'm about to give you. Networking with professionals. I have a list of professionals that are very important that you should have in your database. These are people that are going to help your clients in. Remember, I told you there's a lot that goes on with this. Any one of those people are going to be able to help you with any one of your clients' problems. It's not your job to solve the problem. It is your, it should be your experience with all of these people to say, oh, I got somebody for you. Don't go out there solving problems or telling them that you could do something. Leave it to one of these people. When you want to connect with a sphere of these networking professionals, I highly suggest you talk about educational events with them and putting stuff on with them. Do the referral service. Talk about resources and advice. Get together with them. But the best part is social media. The social media aspect on this could be ginormous for you. I keep going back to the social media aspect and I teach you guys a lot about it. And the reason why I say is because there's so much collaboration to be done. And when the attorney, the move manager, aging in place specialist, oops, I have it there twice. Go figure, ChatGPT. Financial advisor, when you're talking to them and just on video, these are the things that you could be tagging them in. And guess what? When they get tagged and they put it on their website, you get seen by all of the people that follow them or their personal friends. And when somebody likes that algorithm starts going to the people, it's a spider web every time. Every time you stop on someone's video, you stop on someone's post, you either comment, you like, you love, they're going to start feeding you more of that stuff. Don't think it's by chance, you guys. That's what they do. But the point is, how great is it? That's free marketing for you guys, all of us. Like, it's just out there. And all you had to do is just hang out with your elder law attorney to answer the top 3 questions that people would ask an elder law attorney. Or, I've got other ones. But you're doing nothing, zero, other than just kind of interviewing somebody about why your clients use people like him to not go down a rabbit hole and saving them from going down a rabbit hole. You want to be the person that's like their savior, their like, Superman, their hero. And remember I told you about the enemy at the beginning of this, the nation's housing infrastructure? What I forgot to tell you are slip and falls. 1 in 4 people over the age of 65 takes a slip and a fall every single year. That's why those two don't match. That's big. That's pretty big. So when they do take that slip and fall, guess what? You know the key people, because that's your sphere of influence. Now, I bring this up again because when you're also going to 55 communities, or you're going assisted living, or you're going to any other ones, you could be highlighting that on Reels, on Facebook, whatever it is, and talking about, is it a buy-in? Is it this? Is it that? And the best part is, you guys could be doing referral fees on stuff like that. There are ways to do it. We're going to get into it. Not now, but I'm going to teach you guys, because that's what I do. That's how I get referral fees. It's great. It's phenomenal. But I say it because no realtor out there can go from here after the sale of a house with an older adult to the next level. What does that look like? You know, like moving out 40 years of stuff is overwhelming to the children, who are going to be punted with it if a parent passes away. Okay, you're the savior if you can handle that with them and show them all the things. Remember, I was telling you, it's your job to set up that silver platter for their sandwich. Be their sandwich. When their parents pass away, be that bread. Become the piece of bread. You have the sauces. That's your sphere of influence. That's your sauce. Does that make sense to you guys? Please drop a comment so I can kind of like see before I really kind of show you how we're going to play it in. Anything? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Okay, so it does. Thank you. All right. So don't, by the way, somebody said, Chandra, I know you're making a copy. Please don't worry. All of this stuff that I'm doing with you, I'm gonna put it in there for you. Promise, 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 promise. Okay. So Heather Brooks raised her hand. Please, please open up. I'd love to hear it.
All right. So I don't just work with seniors, but I have worked with a fair share, and I have several right now. My mom's 81, so I get to work with a senior every day. There's two things about seniors that they're big hurdles. Number one, it seems like every single senior I work with thinks that someone's out to get them.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Have you seen the statistics for scams and fraud?
Yeah, but
Astronomical. And I say that because let's go back to the very first thing that I have been from 7 years ago when I started this group. I have been telling people, if you are the real estate agent that people like, know, and trust, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You have to show them a non-sales side of it. They don't trust you because they see you as a real estate agent just selling homes. They don't see you as a real estate agent. I'm sorry, let me shift that. They see you as a real estate agent selling homes. They don't see you as an aging specialist helping them stay in their home. And then, oh my God, I have to sell. Fine, I'm gonna let you in because you've helped me stay here with everything that I needed, like, know, and trust. But people in your area have to know that. I
but
say,
it's not so much me. It's like everybody in the process, the
yeah.
attorneys, the
Mhm.
lenders,
Mhm.
it's not so much me because I mean, sometimes, but not very often. But it's like everyone else. And I'm like, we're a team trying to help you. It's
But
very
so I
frustrating.
want you to look at, there's a number of people that you should be looking at, and it's the tactic. Everybody, I am telling you, for many, many years, real estate agents have given this a really like selling a home a really bad rap. It doesn't matter. It's the last 10, 15 years, it's had a horrible rap. I don't say I'm a real estate agent ever, ever. I'm an aging specialist because my heart in all with every client I've ever had in my career was, how can I help you stay here? Because if I can't, then I'll help you sell your home. There are so many options before I have to sell your home. I can still honestly, I could still make referral fees and other things by serving from my heart than serving by selling. And that is the mentality that most of us have when it comes to selling. Look at what happens when you're on social media. It is very salesable. It's like sales, sales, sales. Your call to action is sales. Every single one of my like PDFs, templates, everything that I've told you, don't sell. Give them information, give them education, give them checklists. Tell them to come to your website for the amazing checklists that you have. Tell them to come to your website because you've got whatever deals going on, like all the hot deals that are going on for 65. Don't say real estate. Bring them there for other things because they're going to see that you're a realtor. So I want you to see Joellen Brooks. By the way, Heather Brooks, she's not related to us, but Joellen Brooks Joellen came into EXP several years ago. She walked into Seniors Network and was like, I came out of assisted living. I really need your help. And she and I worked on tailoring like her niche. She's killing it. 3 years or 4 years. You guys go look at how much she's closing off of nextdoor.com. And the way and her style of doing it is not sales tactic. Okay, so I told you I was going to share more with you guys. Okay, so biggest key is listen. Ellen, you're right. Listening. The biggest key is listening. And she's 100% correct because we all want to be heard and our needs to be heard. It's not about what the noise is. And I told you guys there's gonna be a lot of noise. Yes, Joellen Brooks. And not the noise. It's about what you can offer them and all the various options before they get down the rabbit hole. You are cutting out all the noise. If you can cut out the noise in that neighborhood for them, they'll come to you. And I don't mean in a sales way. So okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to go sharing again. All right. So one of the things that I was going to do for you guys today is some type of like, when we're talking about conversations, I know you guys can see my whole thing. So when we're talking about types of conversations that we could be having, let's talk about forward facing, like clients. When you are walking into, and by the way, please don't worry, I'm going to put it in the chat box and then I'll put it in the comment section of the EXP Seniors Network. But I'm just going to kind of fluff out a few things. Do you remember me telling you about not going in as a sales tactic? You already know what's not working for them, but asking them in a different way. It is the approach. It is the style. It goes back to that. No fluff. They want no noise. Okay. There's a lot of noise, the scams, everything's coming at them. When you get to paperwork, break it down, make it very easy, make it very simple, make it small, do videos, then ask questions. But you want to minimize. So when you're talking to them, start conversation. What scares you the most about making this move? That's going to help you figure out what kind of a move manager are you going to need to help them with? If we could fix 3 things in the home, hey, we know they don't want to move. There's one. And you just bring in somebody that's going to help them. Let's talk about the next chapter. How's it feel to them? That's going to kind of give you an idea of what kind of assisted living communities or active adult or 55, whatever it is, that's going to help them. You're doing it without a sales tactic and you're walking into that person's home, a potential client, with a whole new view. Completely new. Man, can you imagine that? You are not a real estate agent. You're actually talking to them like a real person, like everything that you have worked hard for your life for, everything that you've done, it matters to you and I'm going to listen because it does. That's their whole bread and butter. That's where all their cash is. That's all they have. You screw that up, they have nothing. Of course, they're going to feel like it's a scam or a fraud. So they want to be with somebody they like, know, and trust. Okay, here's where we go. Let's get back to, I see stuff in the chat box. I'm trying. Forgive me, I'm trying. Talk with them as if you're talking. Yes, Dee Dee, you're so right. That goes back to that whole thing. So let's talk about sphere of influence. You know, most people don't know how to connect with their avatars. We all know what an avatar is. That's the person that we're marketing to. That's the person that's our jam. That's the person that we resonate the most with. But your sphere of influence and your professionals don't know how to market with it. And remember when I told you at the end of that slide of the menu, the reason why is because that's your sauce. You need that sauce and you're going to want to use them. You're going to want to use them, you guys. And I'm going to show you how. So when you're talking to them, you want to find out what types of clients do they love helping the most. That's going to help you navigate what type of people. What type of events are they willing to collaborate or are they involved in? That's going to tell you what's happening in your community, who's doing what. Most people aren't doing events, and you could be helping putting this on. It's very easy. Really, I've done so many of them. So then you can go to any audience. If you're in a room with with people that are in your sphere of influence and people that are in the professional field, or people that are, the kids or the grandkids, whatever it is. And you could just say, talk about multi-generational living, talk about a resource, talk about anything, but don't sell to them. I'm going to put them in. Don't you guys worry. So that's two. Oh, this is a good one. So I'm all about prompts. I love prompts. It really helps my brain kind of organize things and be like, oh, okay. It is, when I tell you it's a prompt, it just kind of gets your brain going. Okay. It just gives it a little fire, a little firecracker, and is like, oh, let's give it a jump start that's going to help you. Okay. Tipple time. Just cheers. I say that because let's talk social media. We all know that everybody's on social media. When you look at marketing, I've talked about this time and time. It's evolved and phased over many things. But we're at social media. And so when you're putting stuff out there, you want to make sure that you're hitting on topics that are going to resonate with your audience and your avatar. And the best part is that a lot of your sphere of influence don't even know how to make that. So that's where you and them are going to connect, right? Or you and your clients are going to connect, or you're going to be able to answer questions that are the most asked questions for clients or whatever it is to resonate with them. That's just you resonating with their story of what they're going through. All right. So when you're using prompts, you can talk about something that happens. It could be a slip or a fall. I told you about the 1 in 4. You can talk about, most people wait, to do, put in grab bars until they take a fall. And here's why, here's why I don't know. I wouldn't say here's why I don't know. I would say here's why you wouldn't know why. And I would go into, because the stats, basically your devil, that's telling me you're going to take a fall over 65. Let's try doing something about it now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the grab bar. I got a person for you. Let's check out these sexy grab bars. Kind of, that's your story. Do you know what I'm saying? Massage it. This is just to get your head going. Oh, okay. You don't use it. I never use it. I give it to my head. I put everything on my head to kind of put it out. And I go, what is it really resonating and telling me? And then I tell my story, because either I've gone through it with clients, I've been through it personally, or I bring in professionals that have helped my clients. That's all you're doing to help everybody. So you don't need a blank, you need a blank. What is it? Well, when you're talking about maybe, I don't know, like, you don't need, somebody drop something in the chat. You don't need a moving company. You need a senior move manager to help your mom decide what she actually wants. You take your friend that's a senior move manager and you highlight all those really cool things that you've done on a beautiful reel, and there you go. Bam, done. I'm going to put these in a chat box, so don't worry, okay? All right, so that's two. I'm just looking at all my numbers here because I kind of tried numbering them. Three. All right, I kind of skipped around. Isn't this horrible? All right, so 6.4. All right. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Oh, no, I did that one. All right, here we go. So remember I told you guys about that people that you want in your back pocket, your sphere of influence, the people that are not only going to be the people that you are going to need for any one of the things that could come up. But they're the ones that are going to also bring clients to you because they trust you. And it goes back to what Heather Brooks was talking about. You have to gain that trust. That trust is gained through networking events, putting on all that stuff that I was telling you guys to do. Like when you're asking them those questions that I told you to ask them, you're not just asking them for the heck of it. You're going to strategically ask them a question and say, like what kind of networking events? Oh, would you like to partner up with one? You're in their field now. Not only are you are in their field, but you're going to social media the crap out of that while you're at that event, highlighting them and you. Look at me, I partnered with, or look at so-and-so, I partnered up and this is so great. Look at how they can help your clients and my clients too. You're not selling yourself, right? You and them are connecting, networking, and you're highlighting senior events, educational events, all that stuff. You're not, again, you're an aging specialist. You're doing everything you can to bring all of these people to your clients, your clients' families, everybody else with education about what they do. Because here's what I'll tell you. That other half has no idea what any of these people do. They don't. A lot of people don't have a power of attorney set up or estate planning correctly done, or their house in a correct, LLC. I mean, you've got financial advisors for a reason because your clients are going to take a huge tax hit if they sell a home, because that's why most people don't want to leave, or if they pass away and something happens. But most people want to stay. So guess what? Home health agencies. I have home health agencies that will actually pay me if I do a referral. That's easy. I have a couple home health agencies that I truly wholeheartedly love. And when I put something out there on social media and somebody comments and then they end up using them, I get a referral. It doesn't necessarily mean they're my client, but they saw a social media post about it. That's cool. You're going to need downsizing estate sale companies. What about highlighting how great an estate sale company goes for your client? You didn't sell yourself. You talked about your client. You talked about your friend that, like somebody in your sphere of influence that's an estate sale manager that just streamlines it, makes it easy on a silver platter for your sandwich. These are your sauces. It is your job to figure out what their sauce is and what they need to hold that sandwich together. That's basically how I look at it. Honestly. Okay. See, in all honesty, that's how I look at it. Lead generation. Don't sell yourself. I will like slap your hand if you guys try doing it from a sales position. How about giving him free PDFs, checklists, whatever? By the way, do not do it on your own. Don't recreate the wheel. go find something at our national databases, organizations, at a local area agency on aging, and redo it, zhuzhy it up, make it like you, make it for yourself. We all have Canva for EXP. Use it. This would be a great place to use it. So, call to action, bam, right there. You got a checklist. That's it. They can print it up. It's got your information on it. You don't need to sell yourself, right? All right. So, oops. Sorry, forgive me. Anyways, so you've got all this. Your call to action is not sales. Okay. You could do checklists, giveaways. Oh, by the way, there's this great senior event. We've got a table with blah, 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 let's talk. Whatever it is, your call to action is that event so they can get more information. You already got their, you're already going to grab their information by it. But in your newsletter, rather than doing all real estate stuff, have a real estate attorney have a part of a blog in there. You might be able to like ask him for a portion of, like maybe to put, money towards you printing your printing costs if you want to mail it out. Do you know the collaborations are endless when it comes to this? Newsletters are a big thing without selling. They want information, they want education, like no trust. Okay. Again, like no trust. Call to action. You want, you need something, you want something. I got the person for you. Not selling the house. All right. So hope that helps. All right. That was 2.5. All right. I'm going through this kind of fast because we're already at 7:50. Okay. So prompts, what actually happens here's, oh, I already went through this. Sorry. Boom, done. 3, 5, 6, 6.5 tonight. Sphere of influence. I'm going to give you guys a tracker. The reason why this is important to me, you could do whatever you want with it, but this is a sphere of influence tracker. I find it very confusing when I'm meeting people at a networking event, who the peeps I really like, who the peeps that I like, and who the peeps are like, they're cool, but only for this type or maybe these types of people. And then don't waste your time. You don't need a plethora of people. You need people that you like, know, and trust. It's not about the client. Because if you don't like, know, and trust that person, your client's not going to like, know, and trust them. So that's on you. Okay. I have a little tracker because it just keeps me in line. It kind of keeps me like, are they people that if I sent them a lead, would they send me one back? Would they be willing to collaborate on stuff? Those are things that you guys need to think about when you are talking to them. This is just going to give you goals. These are things that I would like for you guys to do. These are things that I do personally. I'm just giving you what works for me. Doesn't work for everybody, but hey, hopefully it does. All right. So, there is that. I went through the giveaways. Hold on. Oh, I already did this. Okay, hold on. Oh, so here's how I personally kind of in my head is I kind of do things in a monthly thing. And it's really important to keep touching your sphere of influence. Things change. I say that because it could be a trust attorney who has a law that changed that month. It could be somebody that might be having a special running that month. Whatever it is, the people that are those like, know, and trust people, you want a monthly thing, whether it be an event, whether it be a social media post and just tagging them because you're thinking of them. But those types of things are that like, know, and trust in the community. Then it goes to, remember I was telling you, if this one person likes it, then all of those people on their social media, because they gave it a thumbs up or a heart, those people on their social media friends list Instagram, doesn't matter, TikTok, I don't care, YouTube, are all going to see the post at some point. Excuse me, I take that back, not all, but the chances of them seeing your post that tagged that company, whatever it was, just on a shout out or an educational, and them liking it, sharing it on theirs or their company's page, you just doubled, if not tripled, quadrupled the people who are actually seeing who you are. Not one touch, but 3 touches. Because at some point they're going to see a post within a certain time frame that you tag that business in. As long as you tagged them in a couple times, someone's going to see a post. We all do. So I know you know that for that to be a fact because you see it on your end. No different. The minute you like something, you're going to start seeing something. Maybe it's that other person's post or something about that information. The algorithm's there for a reason. We just got to use it to our advantage. So oh my God, it's 8 o'clock and I'm typically like 8:15, 8:30, but I'm honestly like, I really would love to hear where you guys are at. What do you need help with? Before I finish, okay, I do want to do some housekeeping really fast. You guys have been asking, I do this every 6 months with my BFF, Ted. I love Ted. This isn't something like a sales pitch or anything. The reason why I talk about this, and not necessarily I'm using Mutual of Omaha for everything. Again, remember our sphere of influence, I always say you need 3. Ted's just one of my 3. The reason why I bring Ted in is because they actually have a certification class for real estate agents that really breaks it down and educates us that nobody else I've seen out there has it. And so I've been doing this class with him for the last 6 years now. Really, we tailored it to help agents understand it. And so I bring him in for every 6 months to do it. And Teresa, who happens to be a broker up in Washington, is the person who actually introduced me to Ted. Ted is licensed all over. But the point is that Mutual of Omaha has the lifestyle home loan certification course, certification class. We're doing it next week. I've been dropping information in there. I urge you to see this class because I need you to understand all of the options that you can give clients that make you look better. It doesn't necessarily have to be Mutual of Omaha. I do know that in several states, we do not have reverse mortgage for purchase or reverse mortgages. This is called a lifestyle home loan. That air quotes means it's a fancy word for a HECM for purchase. Okay. And Ted's going to explain it to you, but basically Mutual of Omaha, very well known nationally. Everybody knows him. Basically, Mutual of Omaha went in and said to HUD, hey, we really love it, but there's a really bad ick to the word HECM for purchase. We want to rename it within our company. That's it. Just within our company. Not anywhere else, just in our company. So their company is now calling it a lifestyle home loan. Imagine that. What a fancy name rather than HECM because of that kind of, and by the way, it's completely turned around and it's completely different from what it was, but HECM for purchase is really what it is. But the reason why I say that is we need options for clients. It is your job to bring the education and the options for people out there. Again, several states out there do not have reverse mortgages. So if your state doesn't have it, it doesn't pertain to you. However, it has great information and tidbits of things that you can help clients with. The one thing that I thought was pretty cool about this is you can actually have a client buy a 2 to 4 unit building. As long as they live in one, they can rent out the other 3. Imagine that. So it's all about the marketing, the style. Again, this is information. It is not our job as a real estate agent to sell home loans, to go into depth with them, to push it. It is our job to give options and to give a couple of people, because one person isn't going to work for this person. You got to have a little variation. So that's next week. All right. All right. I am going to stop sharing and I'm going to open it up. Did I talk your ear off enough? Is this certificate a one time or do you need to update? Nope. Don't need to update it. Got mine 6 years ago. Don't need to update it. Not at all, Kimberly. But I'm not even going to look in the chat box. I'd love for you guys to open up your mic. I'd love to see everybody, talk to everybody. So I'm not like solo.
Well then, so
Eric.
Heather, can you give us an idea of just how popular or is this kind of product with seniors?
What product do you mean? Oh, the NAR
The heck'em.
Okay, so he's going to give you all the stats because I don't have that back end information. Like I don't know. I'm just a real estate agent.
We'll hear it next week.
And yeah,
Stand by.
Yes, stand by. I personally, again, I love the education component of it. I don't deal with senior homeowners. I deal with, people that, train and help work with senior homeowners. But I can tell you that I have a lot of agents who use this tool to help them dramatically when you are out of options or you need options. And it's great if that's what you need. It works for some, it doesn't work for others. No different than like.
So you might later on you'll have some ideas on marketing those, like putting them as one or putting a short video in your.
Yeah, I've done stuff with him on that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have. And it's fascinating. He's going to even show you how to market, but it's, think about those plug and plays that I give you. Think about that ChatGPT and all that stuff. And if you have an idea in your head, I'm happy to kind of guide you through it to kind of get you started. But if you have an idea in your head, and this is for any of you that's on this call, if there is something you have like this lifestyle home loan that you want to highlight as a reel or something, let's do that together, because I've got so many ideas and I've done them personally, but I would love to see what you will come up with. But I will guide you through every single thing, including recording the video and uploading it. I will do it all. But it's just something that it would be fascinating because all of us will have a different variation of the way that we would market this and the style, right? All of us have different, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, one, we're all in different markets. So what works in my market doesn't work in your market. Like that's one variation. So like, even though if I've got a reverse mortgage in Florida, you can't do it in a majority of areas, but in the areas that you can, it's great. And I would market it in very specific ways. You got to know your market. You got to know who do you want to market to? How do you want to market to? But I'll do it after next week. How about the following week? We'll do a plug and play. Plug and play. When you hear that, it means that I'm just going to give you those prompts and you can plug stuff in. And then we're going to refine it on a video, and then we'll post it. It'd be fun to see because all of us have our own style. You know, we've all had different like clients that have gone through different things. Or maybe we haven't had a client that's gone through it, but I have a video that you could still do for that. And if you've never had a client that's actually gone through one of these certification courses, or that's needed one of these, loans, and you've never worked through it, it's very easy for you to say, hey, I've got this great, like blah, 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 blah process, 2 to 4 unit building. And if there's someone in our company that's a 2 to 4 unit building, you can highlight it as like, this would be something you could buy with this type of a loan. You didn't sell yourself. You didn't sell anything other than, how cool is this loan? We have a building within EXP that would actually be able to go with this home, right? I mean, with this 2 to 4 unit building, forgive me. And now you're involving a commercial property. So I just see there's so many variations on how to make a video. I have no problem helping every single one of you guys on that video after next week. If you come with ideas, I will help each and every one make a video for it. And then when you make the video, it'd be curious because you'll see all of us are going to have our own style or our own way to do it, and how it's laid out. There is some things that each one of us needs to have in that video in order for that video to be seen, heard, liked, trusted, and known. I say that because you need something to reel you in. We've talked about the hook. I've given you lots of PDFs on this. If you don't have a good hook, nobody's coming in. If you aren't leading with like education and like giving them information and what's going to happen, and then making a devil out of it, you got to have a story so they can buy into it. And then your call to action without a sale, no fluff. That's it. It's not hard, right? Not hard. It's putting it together. That's the part that's easy for me. I don't mind it. That's why I like teaching you guys all this, because like that's easy for me to do for you guys. I want to lead you guys there, but you guys, if you guys have to put your own twist and personality is what it comes down to. I'm just going to give you all the thoughts that are going to allow your brain to kind of unleash, where it wants to go with it. Does that make sense?
Brooke, if you don't mind me asking, this is all terrific stuff, by the way, amazing. How do you vet the professionals that you want to put on your list? I know that we do it regularly for like the vendor list.
Yeah.
But we can quickly get that from other agents, but this is
No,
very
no, no.
specialized.
You've got to have. So it's going to go back to, and I've done a class on this. You got to start with networking events in your community that are very specifically targeted for people that are working with the older demographics and their families. I say that because when you are networking with them in your community, they're the people who are serving from the heart, just like you. Why are you taking a vendor list from somebody? You don't know any of those people. And if you were to call in those people, they're like, I don't know who you are. If you were to randomly, organically meet somebody at the senior networking event or the senior fair or the senior whatever, doing the same thing that they are on the same platform and the same level of networking and what they're all in it together, same thing. You guys are on the same page.
That's very true. In our area,
Face to face.
I haven't seen anyone, no agent,
Oh.
be
No.
a specialist, and none, zero.
You're not going to.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this network is the largest real estate network targeting this demographics. We have 3,600 agents here. Because for 7 years, this is all I've been doing. This is the love and passion. Lead from your heart. I say to people, you serve with your hand up and not your hand out. When you put your hand out, you're asking for a sale. You're asking for them to give you something. You're asking for them to, introduce you to somebody. That's not what this is about. This is about, I need you to help my clients. If I had clients that had these issues, how can you help them? Tell me. Change, flip it, baby. Flip the
Just
script.
so perfect, so perfect. I have new clients and they're in that
But,
age group.
but
And
nobody, yeah, no, but like think about that. Nobody wants to be put in that position, right? And the worst, I'll tell you, I do a lot of content that is all geared towards the bridging, the gap of conversations. I call it sandwich generation chats. That's what it's on social media. And I say that because we are having conversations like you've got it doesn't matter if you are 30 years old or you are 90 years old, you are stuck in a sandwich. If you've seen my breakdowns, I break down that sandwich for you in so many variations and fashions because, again, I don't care if you're a millennial, a Gen Z, a boomer, a senior, or silent generation. You're going to be stuck with something. Caring for an older adult or needing to be cared for. Our issue as a society is there's no talk, there's no communication. So what happens is, and it's at no fault at anybody's, because we don't want to talk to our kids and burden them with anything. But our kids like don't want to be punted with anything and left with anything and having to make decisions. So I say these are awkward conversations that we should be having with our parents, but we're not. And our parents want to have these awkward conversations with us, but they're not. And we have to create a space for us to have these conversations together without it making it so you feel that you're put into that box or somebody has to make a decision for you, i.e., and here's how this is just the way my brain looks at it is, for instance, most of us have no idea that when that emergency room calls us, because it does, remember that slip and fall? What happens when the emergency room calls you and says, I need blah, blah, blah from you about your parent because they're here. Can you help me? And those three questions are, you can Google this and say, what are the top three questions that emergency room will call and ask me about my parent? It's going to be what meds are they on? Who are their doctors? And what is the next thing, like power of attorney? Who makes decisions? Like, where are they going to go if something happens? That's basically the three things that they needed that very moment. Okay, forget everything else. The rest is chaos. And by the way, I say this because I've helped thousands of people, hundreds of clients, but when you double, triple, quadruple, and 10 times families, it's thousands. Okay, because even though it's one family, a family comes with 50 people by the time everybody's involved. Not literally, but 20 at least. So when you talk about it on the thousands range, you've got a lot of personalities, but the bottom line is forget the chaos. Let's look at what's at hand, and that's our job. It's our sole job. It's not the chaos. It's the sole job of getting the house sold and helping them through it and the next steps after that. That's how I look at it. So in going into that, I think I got sidetracked. What was I starting off with? Help me out here, you guys.
no, this was great. This was going into, the vendor, not the vendor
Yeah.
list and all that stuff. But it is very true. And then we're serving like this is more meaningful, is more rewarding.
Yeah.
And I like that. A lot of the videos I see just for research purposes, none of the agents serve like that, like you're stating and like who you've helped yours. They're more like selling. This is what you can get for this
But
much.
here's the thing is when you come in like that, your sphere of influence are going to send their clients to you because that's the type of person that they want their clients with. They don't want their clients with a real estate agent who's going to just shove a sale tactic down their throat to get it sold. They want to know that their client who they've had, if it's a trust attorney, who's overseen that trust for 30 years, he wrote that trust. He knows the family of that trust. What are you doing? Do you think that just by shaking a hand, that trust attorney is going to want to give you that? Remember, I told you, you got to be that person that they like, know, and trust. This is such a multifaceted area of how much you can make if you played your cards right. If you could just help their clients, because that attorney is going to come to you and say, hey, I noticed that like you connect with all the home healthcare companies on your social media and that you help so-and-so or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, what about it? Can you help a client of mine? No problem. Like, what? Give me their personality and style. I've got a couple companies. I don't want to overwhelm them. That's your job. It's no different than when they bought, like all of us bought our homes back then in a very certain manner with a certain person, not that sold you the house. It's not like shoving it down. They bought it with you because you're the person who had everything that they needed when they bought the house, because they were having kids, because they were raising kids in it, because they were building a family in it. And they used you all along through that entire time. That's all. Just shift it. Shift your tactic into their needs are being different, and the sales is back to old school. I mean, that's it. You're just shifting. There is zero change. And if you are that real estate agent that's all about a fast sale, this isn't going to work for you. And any business and professional and company from 2032 moving forward to 2050, if they haven't pivoted anything towards the older demographics, they're done. They're screwed. Because that's when the older demographics, that's when the over 60 crowd outnumbers all the kids under 21 for the first time in US history.
That makes so much sense.
But look, it's already happened in Asia. It's already happened in
Yes.
Europe. We're just a newer country and it's trickled down here. So get ahead of the game, 10 steps ahead. And so when you're serving this way, that sphere of influence sees it. They see the way that you serve. They know that their clients are going to be with people that they trust, like, and know. So if that trust attorney brings you on, that should be so special. That's when that collaboration of not just the social media of like, this person helped my client, like, let's talk about how it looked. You don't have to drop names, but there's a story behind it. And every story has an outcome, and nobody wants to feel alone in the process of this aging. Because remember, parents aren't talking, kids aren't talking, but when something goes down, who's going to help everybody? Kind of like, here's all the peeps for you. That's your only job. It is not your job to figure that shit out, because that shit started 30 years ago when they bought the house, the drama, the problems. No. It's your job to take all the stuff out of the house, help them either right size, find something else, or help the kids after a parent passes, because you're the person that everybody knows in the neighborhood, and the trust attorney who's overseeing the estate, and all the kids that live out of town are coming into town and they come to meet you. And they will feel so thankful that you are hand-holding them, just like the attorney that hand-holded them and gave them your information. The attorney wants the same from you as you would want from that attorney or from whoever it is that you're using. But here's the problem, and why I say that when you're connecting and you're doing this stuff, that education component on social media, on all this stuff, is the preemptive. It's the before you get to the emergency. Because when you get to the emergency, it's past that point, and that's when they need you the most. So you want to do everything before they get to the emergency and helping them. Like, look what I got all these services before that happens, and blah, blah, blah. And then you know that the moment that happens, they're coming to you and they're going to be like, oh my God, you're the person that knows it. I feel like, don't laugh, you guys, but like I was talking to my story. I work with a couple coaches, and I was telling them, I'm like, I feel like a matchmaker, like a Jewish matchmaker for the older adults with professionals. And that, like, I love it. It's fun for me to do that matchmaking, and I still get to make money on it. I still get to, and it's not with everybody. It's not with everything, and that's not what I'm out for. But the referrals and all the people and all the families that I get to help outweighs it, which all of a sudden makes the money come here. And you're like, just because I love doing what I'm doing. That's
I mean, and you have to make money because you have to be able to survive and stay healthy to keep
all of
helping, right? You have to
Yeah.
read all that stuff.
all of us.
So-
But think about it, as a real estate agent, we stop at the sale of a home. What if you could make money by putting them into an assisted living community? What if you could make money at a residential care home? What if you could make, I mean, and this is all referral fees, because you can, it's no different than putting somebody into an apartment. I promise you guys, I'm going to teach you all of this and you'll understand it. But the point is that it doesn't stop at the sale of a home. And that's where most real estate agents leave it. Comes down to it.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
way, good way to put this across. The message is clear. The way you put it, Heather, I don't think anybody else can teach this course and teach us like this. Your energy is amazing, and you are so clear that I can
Thanks.
see myself doing this. The hard part is getting to do it, but at least, like you said, you planted the seed, you gave us the know-how, you gave us material, you gave us good. We can't ask for more. We have to just do our part.
Well,
Put our
and I
style.
think the part I love, like Dee Dee, and it, by the way, it's with Tina, it's Ellen, it's Eric, it's everybody on this call. Every one of us has a variation and style of the way that social media and the way that we put things out there. But the bottom line is that it makes us who we are, and nobody's doing it. So nobody's doing it. Nobody's out there doing what we should be doing. That's how I feel. Like, the next steps. It's not just finishing the sale of the house. I need to help you with the next step. And by the way, when you're talking about assisted living and you're putting somebody in assisted living and you're getting a referral fee, 15,000. 10,000, 12,000.
And the referral fee you're saying from the assisted living?
Yes, it's
Like-
free to homeowner. Like, it doesn't cost.
Yeah.
I mean, I know in like most states, it's zero cost to anybody that needs to be placed. It's like, it's placing somebody. It's no different than placing. You don't need
Got it.
a certification as a placement agent. You don't. You need to know the right people. You need to know the right connections. You need to know, you've got to have, like when I have a referral fee, I don't go through my license. I have a separate entity in business because that's what I do as part of my aging specialty.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
good.
part of me. And the only way it becomes a real estate transaction is when actual property is being exchanged. And so this isn't property. This isn't it's not a lease. It's not anything like that. When you go into an assisted living community, they are like, it's X amount. This is what we pay on anybody that you can fill in a room. And it's variation. So it's a different entity, it's a
Got it.
referral business. Not referral, but it's a placement agency.
Placement, right.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
a good idea
vastly
to start
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't just go out there and do placement if you don't know the people. you don't know the lingo, the structure, what to do, what to look for, and what people need. If you
Yeah.
don't have that, it just kind of sucks.
We gotta learn
Heather,
it.
could I interrupt you on that same thing? You remember yesterday I texted you about a
Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
what that was, I'm
Hold
not
on,
very
Eric,
good at
why don't you tell
yes,
everybody what you texted me about before you go into it so they understand?
certainly.
Yes, share.
So forgive yesterday or maybe 2 or 3 days ago there was I'm not very good at workplace, so I was scrolling through and I saw this interesting post about what looked to be some insurance. So anyway, I couldn't find it then yesterday at the time when it was coming on, so I ended up missing it. However, I found it later. It was Sal
Oh,
that
yes. Yes.
yeah, okay, so that's what it was.
Okay.
I ended up was able to contact him and he sent me some information, and this is going on the same route that you were
Okay.
talking about with the insurance, call it stay at home
Yeah.
insurance. And he alluded to the fact that they pay uh, a commission to, uh, I guess, not that we're licensed or we're just referring them. And if they do purchase the coverage, then ultimately,
I personally, I'm very much about not buying into things or purchasing things or any of that. That's just me. Um, I want my clients to have options and
right.
be within national organizations and corporations and businesses. So if I have a client in California or I have a client in Florida, it would work for either, which is why when you see me bring in anybody into here, it's like always on a national level. So any one of us can
Hmm.
use them. But I I always stay away from putting anything like that in our group because it's got to go through corporate because we are
Right.
winning.
He shared with that. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Here is what I'm gonna tell you. Just wait a few weeks and education's coming, stuff is coming our way. I have been doing this for 7 years. I have been sitting on our corporate board, working tirelessly on the seniors network, side of it. Um, they have heard me bark loud and clear for many years. This company has heard me and us and this network without you guys even understanding it. And just know that we as a company will explode with the things that we are going to be bringing in and things that we're going to be doing for this market that no other
Right.
company's doing. And so
Today we had
that's
our
important to me.
local Texas rally, and Leo uh,
Yeah.
was zoomed in, and
So
they
excited.
alluded to a few things today. I'm just amazed in the last few months the things that I've seen
Yeah,
in the trainings and things that I've checked. I mean, it's incredible. And
Leo heard me loud and clear.
oh,
He saw
sweet. Okay.
numbers there. Trust me when I tell you guys, the trajectory, and it's the numbers, it's the stats. So just to kind of give you, I'm going to just stop it because we don't really need to go into the rest of it.